Good morning. In the first reading today in the Acts of the Apostles, Paul and Barnabas are preaching, of course, in Antioch, and the nature of their preaching was to tell some more of the story. You'll notice in these in the preaching of Peter and Paul and others, they're telling this story. Pope Francis the other day said that Christianity is not a moral code only, but it's a story. And so the part of the story that Paul and Barnabas are speaking in today's first reading is that the not only reminding them that the Jews rejected Jesus first, but as Paul and Barnabas meditate on this on the early Christians, a lot of this early stuff is saying, oh, that's what that meant. That's what that prophecy meant. That's what that prophet was talking about. Oh, this is how Jesus fulfilled that prophecy. Today's reading, what God promised our fathers, he fulfilled to us. He made good to us, their children, So not only what happened, but it was necessary that the word of God be spoken to you first, right? But since you rejected and condemn yourselves, notice Jesus isn't condemning. Since you rejected that word, now it's going to the Gentiles, And then he gives this prophecy of Zechariah. I have made you a light to, not Zechariah, Simeon. I have made you a light to the Gentiles, that you may be an instrument of salvation to the ends of the earth. And this is overly simplistic, but you could say this is what the church is, right? There's a part of sort of a partial definition of the church is a light that Jesus lights for the salvation of the world. And so Paul and Barnabas passed down not just the story, passed down not just the insights, not just the church, but they passed this down to us. We're to be a light to the world, And how that is up to each of us, But this is what occurs to me. We've all heard some of these disturbing stories, A worker at some Home Depot or something, tells a woman she can't get in unless she has a mask on. She goes away and her husband comes back and shoots him. Fights break out here and there, in some ways, not in every way, but in every time has its darkness, and we have certain darkness. When do you need a light? When it's dark, So the church isn't the only one going through this pandemic, as we know, everyone is. But the church, how can we in the church be a light in this darkness? I've mentioned this before, but this is a time for us Christians to be Christians, to let the other person go first, to smile at the other people, to inquire about others' health, to whatever, in some way, shed some light in this darkness, or at least let it shine through us, If we do that, we're being the church. God bless you.